expectations now.
Good, yeah, you haven't professed any love for our guest today, Devon, so I didn't have any video ready to go.
No, just pure. I want to kick his butt. And what the hell is he doing in Dudleyville at the time? But
okay, all right, and we're gonna get to all of that. Just heard a story off the air before we took the live stream. That makes perfect sense about the name and the origins of our guest. With that said, I am Mo Lightning. Lindsay to my left. Lindsay, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited.
Excellent. Love the extra decorations around.
Thank you. Thanks. I've been, fine-tuning my interior designing techniques.
Yeah, let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit so people can see the decorations there. You've added a lot more Devon.
I have, yeah.
Okay, and I love that. So now I got to be nice to Lindsay. I can't be mean. And now, hold on. Now I can't say, "Shut up, Lindsay."
Well,
that's all it took.
You know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. No, Devon Dudley, the WWE Hall of Famer. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, somewhat. I've been running around. This refinancing of the house is, man, good God, so much paperwork. Paperwork that you've already sent in, they re-ask for it again. I'm like, why? I had to rush to the place to go get it done and all of that.
You didn't do it correctly, did you?
No, I did do it correctly.
You forgot his name, probably.
No, Taylor helped me. See, ha.
He signs everything, Devon Dudley, and they're like, "That's not your legal name, sir. We need your legal name."
I'm not.
You don't know who I am.
I'm not that stupid. I've been around the block long enough to know that if I use Devon Dudley, I got to call that man called Vince McMahon and ask him if it's okay to use that.
That's fair. That's fair, right there. All right. Well, let's not make them wait any longer. We actually have two guests on at the same time. This is great. Of course, our promoted guest, a former GM of 205 Live, a former 24/7 champion, and now I guess 24/7 advisor. You could say the former rock star Spud over in Impact. Now Drake Maverick and his lovely wife, who has been a part of National Wrestling League and Shine. And, of course, you've seen her on WWE TV as well. Ladies and gentlemen, again, both Drake Maverick and Renee Michelle.
Hey. How you guys doing?
I'm well.
Hi, how are you?
And I see you got your better half by your side, which I feel is great.
Yeah.
Renee, you look great as always.
Thank you, Devon. You're such a gentleman.
I thought I'd do you guys a favor because, to be honest, no one's going to watch this unless we got Renee in here. So it's like it helps you out.
Well, listen, I know what you mean because nobody watches this show if it's not for Lindsay.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
See?
That's why I'm here.
Brownie points.
Very much so.
Good job. I'm training you well.
So let's pick up where we left off. Before we took the live stream here, we were talking about like the origins of Drake, of your name, and how Spud is like a playoff of the Dudleyville, Spudleyville. Like you loved the Dudley Boys growing up.
I loved the Dudley Boys. I loved ECW, and I loved that the Dudley Boys would grab a microphone in the most obscure halls in New York City and say the most horrendous things to people, to the point ladies are throwing punches at them over the guardrail, and people were throwing as much beer and cans of soda that they could. They got what we like to call heat, and I've never seen nuclear heat before. And the Dudleys were just like, this is amazing. And like, it was just, that was completely impressionable on me as well, because they had a little brother called Spike and they beat him up, but he kept on coming back. And it was the whole package of the Dudleys just captured me as a young teenage fan, as a young wrestler. It made me believe. It made me just love wrestling and understand how far a bad guy could push it compared to in the WWF at the time. It was, they were my faves.
Well, I will say this: we didn't plant an 89-year-old woman in the seats, going like this, pointing the finger, trying to hit like Hulk Hogan did. We didn't do that, Hulk. We didn't do that. We actually had them women trying to jump the rail and kick our asses.
If I remember, it was Heatwave '99, and I don't think Bubba has gone as raw as he has until that night. And this woman in the front row, and I think her boyfriend, wanted to wring his neck. But it was just heat.
Oh, that's
And Devon's like, no.
You see, I'm thinking lawsuits. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
getting kicked out of the company. But then again, I work for ECW. How the hell can you get kicked out of there? You would have to be a real degenerate to get kicked out of ECW. You really would.
But you were always the cooler head, and I think you had always had the right things in mind, just for like, if we do this, we're not. No.
Well, here's the deal. Bubba wasn't married. Bubba didn't have kids. I was married at the time. And
which number were you on at that time?
I was only
God.
Okay, number one. Okay.
Only one. I've only been married 3 times.
I know, but it's hard to keep up, That's
3 times.
How many kids? How many kids did you have at that point?
At that point, I only had 2.
Okay, all right.
That you know of.
Yeah.
No, I knew that. I wasn't traveling. The world.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Nope, I was a little young punk kid trying to make it in a company called ECW with a bunch of crazy, mixed up, God, I almost said something that I know the dirt sheets would have loved. There were some crazy kids doing things that we had no business doing, and we were just trying to tear up the place. We just wanted to be we wanted to take those 3, little letters and make them into something big. And I think we did that. I think we accomplished that. But it wasn't just one. It was all of us as a group effort. We did that. From Shane Douglas down to the Dudleys, down to the extras that came in. We all had a hand in it, including the ECW fans. Probably one of the most hardcore fans I think we've ever had to work in front of. And they would let you know if you sucked or not. You would know. They used to say, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. That's not true. If you can make it in South Philadelphia on 2300 and South Ritten Street, that's when you can make it anywhere.
Wow.
True.
It was as a fan, ECW was so special. And one of the things that really upsets me is I never got to go to an ECW show because I was in the United Kingdom. And the way you got tapes of ECW was either tape traders, and then they started releasing them on with a company, a distributor called Delta Home Video or something, and they started releasing them in record departments like HMV, Tower Records, Virgin Records, everything like that. So I thought I'd found something so special in ECW compared to everybody else. I neglected to remember that there are other wrestling fans other than me. But then it would be when you'd see your ECW favorites move on to the WWF or WCW, you'd be like, whoa, that's my guy. That's my guy. And you wanted to see him succeed so much. But it was ECW now is still it's so ingrained in people. They still chant the company's name. They still remember all the moments from the company. And that diehard spirit of ECW is still there in people like myself around my age range in the 30s and 40s. We still remember those times and how they made us feel. And we always clambered for him back, that rough edge. I think it was just a moment in time in the 90s where you had people, the raging teenagers and it was just something about the music at the time. There was something about the wrestling at the time and society at the time that was just all encaptured into ECW.
Well, it's funny that you said that because we talked about this on the show not too long ago. The music helped change everything, not only just professional wrestling, but just in the world, period. I mean, you went from hair band, Motley Crue, Poison, all of those cats, and then all of a sudden Nirvana came in and just kicked the door in and said, nope, grunge is here, we're taking over. And that's exactly what they did. They took over, but they helped change the way music was portrayed in sports entertainment. They really did, because we had that I'm a Real American, not knocking Hogan, but you hear and Doink the Clown music and all of that. And now you go to Get Up, Get Up, Get Up, Drop the Bombshell, and all those other songs. And it's like, wow, it's the influence. You don't have to listen to grunge music to not realize that how much Nevada changed not only music, but just the world in general and how we took things like that. It was just incredible. It really was. And I was sad because I loved the hair band. I was a big metalhead, believe it or not. Black kid growing up in Brooklyn. Didn't go over too well, but I didn't care. I loved the hair bands. And then when it left and grunge came in, I was pissed. I was like on a boycott. I wasn't gonna watch. I wasn't gonna listen to music anymore. And then, of course, got to ECW and all of that, and everything changed.
Have you guys happened to have seen the Woodstock '99 documentary? Because that's like all the ECW rebel kind of philosophies in people that were wrestling fans go into Woodstock, where it's all about peace and love and harmony, and just Limp Bizkit's playing, the Offspring's playing,
9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
and Fred Durst is on stage like break stuff, and like everyone's destroying the place.
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. It's just it was just something in time that was just everyone was butting heads with society. Everyone was just trying to break out against whatever they could. It was just an incredible time to be alive. And we're showing our age. So there.
Now, Renee, were you a wrestling fan growing up yourself?
No, I wish I was. I really wish I was. I feel like I missed out quite a bit. But I did not get in wrestling until I was actually 26 years old, and what better way to be founded at a TNA? It was TNA. I think it was TNA back at the time.
Yeah.
And by Dwayne Gill. So
Gilbert.
I was actually dragged to my first wrestling show, and it was solely because, like, during my ex during the time, him and our mutual friend, they dragged me to a wrestling show. I never watched anything about wrestling, so all I see is like these big dudes and like their underwear that I thought that wasn't underwear during the time, knocking each other out, and I'm like, I'm gonna get some nachos and jalapenos, and I was like this bald old man with papers in his hands chasing me down like the hallway, like, excuse me, have you ever thought about becoming a wrestler? You have a really good look. Whatever you do, grand, and I'm like, yeah, like
my nachos.
That is what I saw.
You'd be a great wrestler. I love this. This story is my favorite. It's just
I love your Gilbert
Gilbert
impression. Yeah, I love your Gilbert impression.
That is what I saw. I was like, who is this crazy old man? Security? No, but
Still getting nachos.
And here's the funny part about it. She's like, who's this crazy old man? Meanwhile, he was probably like 30, 31.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was 90. That was great.
So, what was even more funny is that he even found me on social media and kept begging some more. So I caved in. Yeah. So he found me on Facebook. So I caved in. I gave it a try, and since then I caught the wrestling bug. And luckily, because like I had like martial arts as a background, that helped me out a lot too. But yeah, thank you, Gilbert.
And I thank you, Gilbert. Otherwise, I would have never have met my wife. And I'm very.
And that's the next question. How did you guys meet then? How did you guys connect?
What's that?
How did you guys meet? How did you connect?
It's completely Rebby Hardy's fault, and yeah, it's all her fault. Thanks, Rebby. Yeah.
No, you slid into my DM.
Yeah. Okay. I did the manly, gentlemanly thing, and slid in the DMs.
What is it? Hello, Pocahontas lady is a
yeah. So Renee was doing a Native American gimmick at the time, and I was like, oh, she's nice hair, and she had like a feather in her hair, and I was like, hello, Pocahontas lady, and I'm like,
you weren't looking at that.
Well, that's as smooth as I could be. I mean, Tinder was a new thing, so Instagram DMs were different as well. So
Wait a minute. I don't think you two caught it. Renee said you weren't looking at that. So Drake, what were you looking at if you weren't looking at the Pocahontas thing over here?
Look, Renee had really striking fake contacts in, and yeah, you did. She has these grey contacts in, and they're quite striking. But me being a fool from England and not understanding ladies or anything, you can get fake contacts, and I didn't. So I was like, oh, that's a beautiful.
Those were my real ones, actually.
The grey one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Real what?
Yeah.
Contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that, but like, I mean, you can take them out. Your eyes are naturally brown.
Yes.
Yep, I didn't know that. I'm not clued up.
Wait a minute.
Okay, stop, because
How long has what?
this is going to be another episode of something else if you didn't know how I call it for that long.
By the way, I saw my wife on Instagram. I found her incredibly striking. I slid in the DMs, trying not to be a creep, but there's no other way of doing it in the DM. It's flipping weird. But and then Renee happened to know Rebby Hardy and said, "Sup with this guy?" And Rebby's like, "Oh, I mean."
She thought that he was like.
Yeah, Rebby thought I was gay because I always said to her, "Oh, I don't like girls. I didn't have time for them.
Oh, the first message that she sent you didn't reply back to her for like
Yes.
10 minutes.
Okay. So Rebby messaged me and goes, "Sup, bro? You single?" And I'm like, "Oh God, my friend's wife's like asking me, like what's going on? Her and Matt cool? What's going on? Like I don't know what's going on." But then a few minutes later, she messaged, "That sounded wrong. I'm asking you, are you single for my friend?" I'm like, "Oh, thank God." I thought I was in trouble, or this was a test or something. And I was like, whoa.
How good of a friend are you?
Yeah, but
And Matt Hardy's had girl drama in this industry, so I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I'd stepped away from that. Like Matt and Rebby, bless them, they're very good friends, and they came to our wedding and everything. So it was
Maxwell, ring bearer.
Maxwell was our wing bearer to pay off some past TNA storylines, and
Yeah, he tried to take me away from you.
yeah, he saw Renee as a princess and was like, "No, leave." Yeah, they have the most adorable kids, and they're the best family as well. So
I love them.
Again, I thank Gilbert and I thank Matt Hardy and his wife. So far, there's a list. So there we go. We'll write them on there. You know.
Excellent. We got some fan questions coming in here. Nathan, and we'll dive right into this one here. He's read multiple things. He wants it straight from the source. Drake, how real and or surprising was Triple H offering you the contract?
I mean, it depends how real, surprising you want to say it. Obviously, I'm aware of where my business is going to be taken trajectorily before I go out to the ring, but that deal wasn't sealed until very, very close down to the wire, I will say. You know, it was the situation at the time was what it was with COVID and everything, but it was really down to the wire. But like Hunter and me have always had a very good relationship. He's a great man, and it was just two gentlemen talking about where I see where it's just two gentlemen talking, and we got a deal done, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, it's great that you're still around. Great seeing you on Raw again. Of course, back with the 24/7 championship, which means you're stuck working with Devon again, right?
No, Devon probably was like, "Oh God, they're brilliant."
Oh, no. Look at him; he's over there grinning.
I don't understand with the 24/7 segments as well. Like they are a minute to 2 minutes tops on television. But Devon, the crew, the lighting team, the writing team, the camera crew, the talent, they take a long time to put together to get perfect. And like, there's a lot of hard work that goes into them from everybody before even the talent get to the building. Like there's people figuring these things out. There's a lot of hard work that go into those segments that I don't think people appreciate or understand.
And he's telling the truth there. I mean, we get to the building, we assess where we're going to do it. We assess the things that we feel Reggie can jump off of. And because, I mean, he's freaking amazing. And, we figured, what the hell, we'll just do it this way and see what we come up with. But the great thing about it is we give the talent the input, freedom to, pretty much design it. And then we correct it if there's anything that needs to be corrected into it. But it's a pleasure working with you guys. And to have you back, when I read the show and saw that you were coming back, I was excited because there's so many different things. Your character, when I started working with you before, was exciting, and we kept hitting home runs. My favorite has to be when you and Renee were in the hotel room and Truth comes in with the cart and bon appetit, and then he jumped on the bed. It was great. And then how he jumped on, he said something like as he jumped on the bed, what was the line he used? Geronimo. But it was the way he did it. It's like, he's in there. They just got married on, the storyline was he just got married on TV with Renee, and they're trying to seal the deal with the marriage. So they're in there. She's dressed in her lingerie, and, he's in his little Speedos, not Speedos, but he's in his little boxers. And then all of a sudden, Truth comes in. He's not going to do a room service. He comes in, And now he jumps on the bed as they're in there, Geronimo, and the way he did it. And if you know truth, it was funny as hell. And then you got Renee screaming in the background, which sounded so legit. I mean, how else would you react to somebody coming in from room service who you think is room service, but yet they're trying to take a title from your husband, and while you're in the bed with your husband, trying to seal the deal of your marriage.
Yeah.
And just remember that day, it's all one shot, so it's step by step by step, and then we've got scenes in the hotel lobby. So we've got the entire camera crew from Raw at this hotel room, which is like probably a mile away from the arena. But this crew's needed for Monday Night Raw as well. So Bruce Pritchard's like, we gotta go. We got one more scene to do it. And then we do the scene. And then I think Truth probably messed up a couple of times on the scene that we filmed in the lobby. And he's like, Truth, we gotta hit this one. And then we didn't. And then Bruce is getting redder and redder. He didn't even need his Brother Love makeup. He was getting, that was a fun day. And the one thing that with wrestling, moves aside, great matches aside, everybody remembers this stuff. And it's just a privilege to be in someone's memories for stuff like that. Everyone remembers matches is great, but people will always remember how, like I remember how the Dudleys made me feel as a kid. Everyone remembers how something made them feel, and whether it made them angry at you, or it made them love you, or especially with endearment, it made them laugh. Regardless, with Truth and Maverick and the dynamic with Renee, it always made them laugh. And there was the Roadrunner and there was the Coyote, and the Coyote always had the cake in his face, and it was wah, wah, wah. But these characters were, let's call them, they were buffoons, but they were the people's buffoons, and that's why everybody loves them and remembers them. And it's just an honor to be in people's memories, just for little things like that.
We still
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
We still haven't gone on our honeymoon, I will say. So that TV thing was the closest we've gone on our honeymoon. It was pretty good. Not nice hotel room, it's good. We'll go somewhere else.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now, John wants to know, he says that you and R-Truth are the two funniest people in wrestling. What do you think of R-Truth on a personal level?
Irreplaceable as a human being. Completely irreplaceable. No matter what, there is no one in this industry that can replace Truth at being Truth.
Yeah.
He is a constant. He'll be able to do this as long as he wants to. He is just a complete, irreplaceable human being. And that goes for off camera as well. There is no one like him. If you're having a bad day, there's that smile. He's just the greatest. And I've never had a non-fun day working with R-Truth. He's just a constant.
He's actually very talented with his
so
music.
Talented.
With his music, he's really talented.
The amount of times I've told Ronnie, I'm begging you, I want you to write a book, because your story is in how you've gone from here all the way up to here and where you are today. But I've also begged him, I go, if you do write that book, you need to be the person that does the audio book.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, dog, I went I just can imagine it being the funniest thing ever. So I love the man. I got so much love for the man. I've enjoyed every day I come to work that I'm on the same sheet as him. He's just the best.
Devon has a love-hate relationship with R-Truth.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
We've had R-Truth on the show a couple times, and I don't know if Devon wants him back anytime soon.
No, because R-Truth always likes to touch me inappropriately. And then went on my show. Then he went on my show and had this big circle. It was a black, it looked like a hair tie, but it wasn't. It was like rubbery. It could have been. And he goes, you want to see what Devon's booty hole looked like? And he had it, and it was like this.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you son of a.
Yeah. It was great. That's so funny.
Devon will just be minding his business at work, and then Truth will come on. What's wrong, Devon?
Yeah, he's all rubbing me. I'm like, man, get your hands off me. Touching me.
We should get Devon involved in the 24/7 stuff just to do stuff with Truth.
Brilliant.
We've been trying. We've been
man.
trying. Lindsay and I have been trying for a long
Yeah.
time. Get him back involved somehow, some way.
It
Oh,
ain't
we will.
listen,
It'll happen.
Stuff like that. I don't mind doing. I just don't want to get back in the ring and take bumps and make it hurt. I mean, it took a while for my body just to appreciate getting up in the morning without somewhat the pain I used to feel. So now to try to aggravate that and bring it all back, ooh, no. 24/7 I can do though, because I can wear costumes. I can go after Reggie. I ain't jumping, but I can go after Reggie.
He's a phenomenon in himself, Reggie. Like,
yes, he is.
And just different in our business. Different is so good because it's special. And he's another one that's he's just another one that's carving his own path in regards to. We've never had somebody that can do the delay stuff that Reggie can do, and he's jumping. Yeah. He jumped off a 15-foot bunch of crates the other day, just onto his feet, like no problem. Like D-Bot was going, I'd love to have the cartilage in my knees you do, boy.
Oh yeah, I said that. I looked because he jumped. It was amazing. And if you saw what we did this past Monday, he jumped from this one ledge that was like it was already 6 feet up in the air. Then he went up to something that was 12 feet and jumped and did it without a springboard or anything. And I'm just looking at him. I'm just like, I'm looking at him. I'm like, I hope you don't get the wrong idea how I'm looking at him. I'm like, but I'm looking at his knees. I go, God. I go, Reggie. I said, man, I wish I could have your knees and your cartilage right now. I said,
It's a weird thing to say.
I know it is.
That's weird.
It is.
I wish I had your cartilage.
I wish I had your cartilage and your knees. Devon was saying inappropriate things to me. What was he saying? He said he wants my knees and my cartilage. I don't like that.
It's real personal.
Another fan question here from Dante says that you've, Drake, gone through some really embarrassing things for comedy, like the 24/7 bits, peeing your pants on screen. Wants to know how you feel afterwards. Is it just another day at the office, or do you feel self-conscious at times?
I have you know, Dante, I'm a very, very serious competitor. But at the same time, it is to me another day at work. It's whenever I'm given something, it's not about me. It's about how I'm going to make the audience feel, and it's how I'm going to connect with the audience because I grew up watching a lot of British television, and I also grew up watching a lot of WWF wrestling, where people like Bobby Heenan were always the fool. They were always the weasel. There always has to be somebody that is the butt of the joke. I have enough confidence in myself to be okay with the butt of the joke, receive all the ha-ha tweets, receive all the laughter from children and everything like that, because I know what role I'm playing. I know that this isn't James actually peeing his pants. This is Drake Maverick peeing his pants. And so when that's presented to you, some people will be like, oh God, that's going to make you look so pathetic. So I know it's perfect, right? I'm a bad guy. How much more pathetic can you be surrounded by two enormous men to do your fighting for you than peeing your pants at the first sight of danger? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. So why would anybody cheer me? They'd boo me and they'd react. I remember when we were with AOP and we'd go to the live events and they'd come out and they're awesome. And they're monsters and they're killers and they get in there and they be monsters and they kill everybody. But then the audience knows they're preconditioned to boo them, but what's to boo them? Because they're awesome. There's nothing to boo them. So then after I peed my pants, we go out there and they're chanting AOPP. And like, I'm looking around, no, but there's reaction there. So which is also important for our business. It's getting them to care enough to even open their mouths to say something. The tale of that incident, I don't think everybody knows, but I had to wet myself because the contraption broke. That's as far as I'll go to, one, get the job done, and two, for the sake of, this is entertainment. My boss asked me, I want you to urinate yourself tonight, and here's how we're going to do it. And I remember Arn Anderson was my producer, and he's like, kid, what if this contraption doesn't work? And I'm like, Arn, if it doesn't work, I got this. He's like, well, if it doesn't, then it's going to look terrible. I'm like, all right. So I'm guzzling water. So I'm there, Big Show grabs me, and I'm going, you'll notice me going like this, and nothing's happening. And I'm like, All right. So a lot of people from things I've read assume that I'm pressing a button here. There's no button. So I intentionally went out in these grey trouser pants. Intentionally didn't wear underwear just in case, because obviously with any material, you don't know how thick it is and if water even shows up on it.
Extra absorbent. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm closing my eyes and just concentrating on getting out as much tinkle as I can. But also I'm trying to make sure that the stream of my wee-wee is going to touch the clothing. So I'm basically, where I'm peeing, I'm forcing the material onto myself so that it would come through. And it was just a trickle and you could see it and everyone got the gist. I come backstage and Road Dogg's there and he's like, hey, can I talk to you? There's something wrong with that contraption because like that kind of looked like it sucked. I went, yes, there was something wrong. It didn't work, and I had to wet myself. He's like, wait a minute, you shoot pissed yourself? I'm like, yes. And he's like, Hunter, Vince, what? He shoot pissed himself. He what? Usually you go over to Vince and Hunter and you give them a handshake and thank them for allowing you to do business and everything like that. But on that day, I was excused from the handshake as it was covered.
Yeah, that's probably wise. Yeah.
It was it's a story for the ages. I'll be looked back on as the guy that peed himself, and some people will call it pathetic. Me, I saw that as an opportunity to show my boss that I will do absolutely anything to get the job done. So there you go.
Dedication.
Now, Renee, what goes through your head when you see your husband doing something like that?
God. Well, I mean, honestly, that's how he got me. He makes me laugh. That's how, humor.
It's like, he's mine. That one's mine. He's taking, ladies.
So when I noticed when I was watching that, like, oh, it's not working. I'm like,
well, you've seen me paint myself before, so you know that's not how I do it.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, he's really doing it. Oh my God. But yeah, he's very dedicated to his job, and he'll do almost about anything, for the work, the company, and also the product. And if it's to make people laugh, then so be it, But also because of his humor and because he's so smart and animated and shut up, Gene. And that is what caught my attention with him. Like a lot of people, they get this misconception I'm supposed to be with like 6'2", whatever type of men, but he's the right size for me. He's my little honey bunny, and he makes me laugh.
Don't call me that. Don't call me that.
My honey bunny.
This is live. We're in public.
We're in public.
Like there's thing you pants.
And it's like a lot of people assume that I'm taller than him, but he's just only an inch taller than me. That we're both little people. It's just like I wear a lot of platform heels, So of course I look like as if I'm taller than him when really, actually, I'm not.
That's why I have a bad neck when we go on dates. Like, need a couple of days to get over that one.
He doesn't mind it. He doesn't mind the heels.
No, I don't mind it.
Did you guys ever see American Horror Story?
No, that sounds really daunting. But
No. And the reason why I'm saying that is, I just realized because I'm watching a series on Netflix, and there is a season about a hotel. With a hotel where there's ghosts and all that in there. But Lady Gaga, who I was never really a big fan of until now, I've watched her on there, and she kind of reminds me of the way Renee is sitting there. Do you see that, Mo? You know
the hair
what I'm talking about?
and
The
everything.
hair. And it's like Lady Gaga was in there, and her role was like you were scared of her. Like she would cut you up and kill you. And this and that. Plus, you drink blood too. Now, Renee, I'm not saying you drink blood, but what I'm saying is,
he was wearing red.
Shit,
Blood.
yeah. But the way you're sitting there and your demeanor reminds me of that character, that Lady Gaga, and I think you could have pulled it off better than Lady Gaga.
Oh,
I think you should have been an American Horror Story.
I'm all for it.
Thanks, Yvonne. Thank you.
American Horror Story. If you guys are seeing this or hearing this, let me know.
Yes, please.
Elvira, Mistress of the Damned.
Yes, I'll be Elvira.
But do you see that, Mo?
Oh yeah, I absolutely see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that season, but I can see the Lady
which
Gaga.
is probably which is probably the best season out of the whole series so far. That hotel was the greatest. And I mean, again, she did such a great job, but I was never really a fan of hers. I remember Bubba used to put her over like crazy. You know, she's talented. You know, she's actually a good-looking girl, good-looking woman without all that crazy stuff that she wears, you know, to get attention. And I was like, yeah, you know, and then all of a sudden I'm watching it and I see her on there. I'm like, oh man, it's Lady Gaga. And I'm looking at her and I see the things that she's doing. I'm like, oh my God. I go, that's Lady Gaga. And I'm just like, wow. And like her presence was so strong in that season. And I'm looking at Renee and I'm just like, the way she's sitting and she's like, yeah, go ahead and fuck with me. See what happens.
I've seen my wife angry. Trust me, there's not many people you want to.
Yeah, so it's
Like,
like, wow.
life, and my wife's one of them. Like, my wife has a presence. Like, when, and I've told you this a million times, like when with the rest, when Renee walks into a room, heads are turning. And when, you know, that to me is one of a very important trait in our business. Everyone's like, okay. You know, it's an attraction. And I always notice that when Renee enters at a wrestling show, she looks like a superstar. She always looks like a superstar.
She does. She really does.
You know, remember the first time you saw Renee, Devon?
Oh, come on. I was going to bring that up.
Renee's there for extra work, right? And there's a bunch of us all huddled up. We're talking. Devon, I think
this was in Dallas.
Yeah,
Even
just the location. It all.
Yeah, I just came out of the meeting. God.
Devon comes in with his rolled up piece of paper and he's like, "All right, guys, we got to do this out of that." And then all of a sudden, these heels walk past and he's like, "So we got to." Bam!
So subtle, Devon. Way to go.
And then he turns back to us like, "Who in the hell is that?" I went back to my wife like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I thought he was joking.
It just blows me up. Yeah.
And Truth and them were there. They were like, "Devon, that's really his wife." I was like,
"He's like, what?"
Oh my God.
And then
really your wife? I was like,
Devon goes, yeah, really looks at me. He's like, "That's really your wife?" Listen, you need to take care of that. Like, I'm like, I do, and he's like, no, serious. Everybody, you need to take care of that. I'm like, okay.
What's up with Devon?
Yeah, that is 100%.
And ever since that day, I've been in that corner ever since.
Yes. When we've had problems, or if ever Renee wants to rip my head off or anything like that, like Devon, we owe Devon one. I'll say that. Well, actually, we owe Devon many.
No, you guys don't owe me. It was my pleasure to be there for you guys when you guys needed a neutral ear to talk to and to get the honest truth. Because, you know, people say they're your friends and people say they'll be by you, but when the shit hits the fan, what type of advice are they giving you? They're flying, they're going away, they're turning because they don't want to be bothered. You know, and I'm not like that. I'm going to make sure that if I tell you I'm your friend and I'm going to be there for you, I'm going to be there. I'm going to help you out, and I'm going to basically give you as much advice as I possibly can.
And that's why Devon's the good brother and Bubba's the big heel. So there you go.
There you go.
You got the heat for me. And
oh yeah, I got the stink eye from Renee because like we're in the limousine. Remember that Raw reunion we did?
Our trip within a limousine.
We did probably 20 segments that day, and it was one after the other, but they were all live. So everything was one stress to the next stress to the next stress to the next stress. And the last one was the limousine shot.
You yelled at me.
I'm like, Renee, we gotta go. I went full Bruce on her. I'm like, we gotta go now. We gotta go. And Renee just goes.
And I slowly I opened the door, the limo door, and I popped in. And I'm like, you speak to me like that one more time, we're gonna have a problem.
The door shuts, and then I'm there with Ted DiBiase and Truth goes, yo, dog, you're trouble. And
I said the most calm voice ever.
And that's the scary thing. That's the scary part about it, because when a woman gets angry to the point where she's just very calm and she's telling you don't mess with her, that's when you should be nervous. That's why I'm not nervous at the woman that's going to go crazy and start acting like a fool and want people to hear her go crazy. I would be more scared of the person like Renee that would be like, you yell at me one more time and you see what happens. Oh, right? That speaks volumes. That tells the whole story right there.
That was Orlando, and we were driving to Miami directly after. That was the longest 3.5 hours of my life. It was like, do you want to pull over? It's like constantly looking like, okay.
Giving the silent treatment the whole ride back.
And then I'll put the radio on, and then her arm will lean over and be like, okay.
See, when I'm driving with my wife, we fight all the time about the music because I can't get with today's music. I hate it.
Oh, same here.
I hate it. Give me the 90s R&B. Give me the 90s rap. Give me the 80s rap. Give me the 80s R&B. And even to the point where we go back to the 70s, Teddy Pendergrass, the Funkadelic. I mean, all of that, just the P-Funk. I mean, all of that. I mean, I love that music. But today's music, I just can't get with.
Garbage.
Yeah, and I didn't want to say that, but okay, yes.
I'll admit it. It's hot garbage.
And
they don't
Taylor,
have like Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, like the Ronettes, Temptations. I listen to much older music.
Don't we all?
80s rock,
Don't we all sound like our parents now?
Yeah. And that's the key. Now I feel bad for making them listen to the stuff I used to like, but now we look at it as being classics, where today is just like I said, like when they said it's garbage, I just don't like it. I can't get with it. And Taylor loves it. So she wants to blast that all day. I'm like, no. How about Tribe Called Quest?
Like I said, I appreciated having Rhea Ripley on last week, so she and I could talk about Motionless in White and today's music that Devon hates. That is good stuff. But
we're all our parents. We all morph into our parents. We all end up thinking the same. We think wrestling from the 80s and 90s and 2000s was the best ever because that's when we were youthful, and we're watching it now.
Cher was pretty good too.
Oh yeah, Cher's great. Do love a bit of Cher.
Turn back time. Can turn back time.
Oh, do you remember the video on the boat? Man, the sailors and Cher.
I'm gonna say something. Renee, close your ears. I remember looking at that for the first time. I think I was like 13, 14 years old. I didn't need a magazine at that point. I kept rewinding, playing. What?
Why wouldn't you warn Lindsay to cover her ears too?
Lindsay.
Who's Lindsay? She's whatever.
Lindsay's
She's
Lindsay.
just there listening. It's fine.
Oh man,
I can't. Nothing phases me anymore.
I think as a teenager, anybody seen that video with Cher when she was on that boat, I think every teenager.
That was Devon watching that.
Little 13-year-old Devon.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Look at him. He's remembering memories.
Yes, I am. I'm keeping quiet.
You're doing good.
Memories.
Yes. But so we know we gotta let you go. So where can we find you guys on social media?
Ladies first.
Oh. Well, you can find me on Instagram, which is Lady RM, or on Twitter, which is One Renee Michelle.
And I'm WWE Maverick on both Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, if you want to laugh at me for peeing my pants, if you want to laugh at me for not capturing Reggie, if you want to talk about movies, if you want to have fun.
How about they laugh at you for not taking your wife on a honeymoon yet? I'm still waiting on.
There's been a pandemic.
And
I'm landlocked.
Excuses. Oh
Safety.
my gosh.
Safety
I'm
first.
landlocked.
4 years.
I'm landlocked. It's okay. We'll get there.
Did you say you're man blocked?
Landlocked. I'm always man blocked. I'm always man blocked.
Further notice.
Brutal.
Sometimes his accent is so thick. Drake will say something. I'm like, what the hell did you just say? He's like, I'm sorry, Devon. Let me slow it down. I said, okay.
We have to do that too. Okay.
Yeah, I'm starting to speak like him sometimes.
So it's a customary to wake up or like just when you say, how are you in England, you go, all right, buddy, you all right? And everyone in America looks at me like, yeah, I'm fine. What?
Yeah.
So I'll wake up and I'm like, you all right, dear? Did you sleep well? Yeah, I'm fine. What? We're not asking you if you're ill. We're just asking, that's how is your day? And everyone looks at you so confused. So it's like,
all right.
America and Britain are so the same, but I've had to learn a completely new language, like in terms of delivery with everything else and spelling and my date being my month and day back to.
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there. But then Renee will go to me like, "You've been here for 8 years and you don't know." No, I don't.
Some people learn at a slower pace than others, Renee.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Renee said,
That's
Look,
my
if I
excuse.
could be in Japan and be adaptable for a totally completely different language, I think when he speaks the Queen English, it's like
yes,
no.
because I'm the one butchering the American language.
wait a minute. Is that what it's called in England? The Queen's language?
The Queen's English.
The Queen's
It's-
English.
Is that what they call it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they call it the Queen's English because
Which is the
she's
proper
top of the
English.
monarch, so it's the English language.
So I'm learning from him.
Yeah.
You know, I'm learning how to speak proper English.
And
So
you know what? But he's right though, because you know, over in the UK they do speak the proper English. We butchered it by the time it came over here.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I want to learn how to speak the exact proper English, regardless of here over America. Not many people would understand it. Like for a prime example, if I was to ask where's the lavatory, you know, people kind of look at me confused. Instead of like saying how are you, I say how do you do, and they kind of like wait what. But I start adding like new vocabulary into.
If I ask at a hotel, like, excuse me, where's the toilet? They look at me like I'm an alien. Like, you mean the bathroom, sir? Excuse me, pal. There's not a bath in there. Okay. There's a toilet, and that's it. There's no bath. Where's the toilet? Wait, there's a sink and a toilet. Where's the toilet?
I don't need the sink. I need the toilet.
Exactly. I don't need a bath. I need the toilet.
I remember that one time I got upset and I just said, "Oh, for fun."
Yeah. Renee drops all the English swears as well. Like our humor is completely different in regards to sarcasm. Oh my God, that's over people's heads because we show love by picking on each other and calling each other names. Over here, if you do that, they're like, "I can't believe you just called me that."
Like I had to like sit there and like on my own self, I'm like, "Did you just call me that? Did you just call me a silly cow?"
Yes. I'm like, "No, you silly cow, come on." Like, but they don't. It doesn't compute sometimes, and Renee will get mad, and I'm like, "Why are you mad?" And I'm confused because what I meant is in love and jest, and it's
I'm like,
no.
"Oh, I gotta be fat," or with the fact that
That's exactly where I went. It's like,
you know, like, what are you trying to say, James? Like,
Can we get Drake? Can we get you back sometime and you can just teach a class? The live stream will just be you teaching a class of expressions that we need to learn.
I'll do my best. How much do you pay?
Devon? I'm talking Devon.
Fork it out. Fork it out.
Why did both of you look down at me and say Devon?
I'm not a wrestler.
I'm the one.
I don't make the money you do.
I'm the one with kids. I'm broke.
Yeah, leave Devon alone, man. He's put his time in. He's put his time in.
I'm broke.
He saved a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
what's that?
That means he saved a lot then.
He's man with kids, man. You can't do that.
Now when you have 6 kids.
The alignments and the team ups in this have completely altered throughout the course of this discussion.
Yes, they have. So
we got 2 cats. That's expensive enough, you know. Like,
Cats are expensive.
They are.
Yeah.
Animals are expensive, especially God forbid if they get sick and the doctor bill on top of them.
Oh no,
That's where I come in.
That's why sometimes it's good to get that insurance for the pets.
Oh, yeah.
You just never know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he didn't believe me when I told him like, yeah, we got to get pet insurance.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
Yep.
And it's
Yes,
good.
it is.
Yep. It is a thing.
Well, I definitely would love to have you back sometime, especially since we're sitting in a movie theater and we love talking movies and TV on this show. So we're gonna have you back sometime.
Maybe we should do the podcast from his movie theater next time.
I like that.
I'm not inviting myself over, but
I got 3 seats in the back. Come on in.
All right, sounds good.
I think we could do that.
Okay.
You took a trip to Dudleyville. We're gonna take a trip to Drakeville.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
Yes.
I'll cook.
Yeah, Renee.
All
I
right.
love it. I love
Hell of
it.
a cook she is.
I love it.
Awesome.
All right, I'm
So
stuck
right
with my
here.
plates.
All right.
Thank you so much today,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
We appreciate
Yeah, thank you.
everything and continued
Bye,
luck
guys.
to you guys.
God bless, mate.
You got it, guys.
All right.
Oh, you have to have them back.
Good stuff.
I mean,
Very
that's the
fun.
type.
Funny.
Yes, that's the type of fun we have every week when we're doing this 24/7 thing. It's really an honor to work with Drake. It's really an honor to work with Truth. Reggie, Tozawa, and now Drew joined the mix.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's really cool to have those guys and to work with them and the creativity that comes out of this, the making the 24/7 now one of the most watched because of the things that they do. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love being a part of that.
Has there been anything that Reggie has declined, or you're like, oh, Reggie, you could jump off of that. It's fine. And then Reggie's like, okay, that might be a little too much for me, guys.
No, I thought jumping over a car would be, out of his realm. Nope. He did that. He scaled that car.
Nice. All right. Well, you let us know when you finally hit that wall, when you finally find that line that Reggie will not cross.
I mean, unless we ask him to jump over a building, I mean, I think that's the only thing he won't be able to do. I mean, but everything else he's doing, I mean, who would ever thought he could jump over a car the way he does, land on his feet and then hop in the car?
Yeah.
That's it's insane.
It's got good cartilage.
Insane. Yeah, good cartilage. I want those knees and I want those cartilage.
Good balance, good cartilage.
Right. Now, one thing I wanted to ask while we had him, but we went over, and obviously I'm not looking for details here, but with him coming back and giving advice to the other 24/7 competitors, do you actually know where that is leading to right now?
No, I mean, we play it week by week, and we do it. Vince McMahon is, he does the stories, he writes them, and with the writers, and they come up with something. So we basically, they give it to us, and we make what we make out of it.
Okay. I just didn't know maybe if you knew what the end game, at least for this part of the storyline, was. But
you know what? I don't want to know the end game because when we're having so much fun, I don't want it to end.
Okay.
I mean, we're having so much fun with this 24/7. I just don't want it to end. Such good times with this thing.
That seems fair. Fair.
And I'm afraid if we do see the end game, it will be just that, the end. I don't want to see that.
Okay.
I don't want it to end.
Very fair. Yeah, very fair. So with that said, final stretch of the show here. Do want to give a week 1 update on a bet that you two recently made.
Oh, that is right. All right.
You both casually look off
What?
camera.
What are we doing?
Well,
where am I?
This is bet number 2 based on a result of Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
The first one, Lindsay lost.
I did, unfortunately.
Put her faith in Carol Baskin and came close. Came very close to actually winning.
I'm still mad at her.
Right
for that, only that reason, not for anything else she's ever done.
But now it's all based on The Miz. And if he can go, 6 weeks into the competition or 6 eliminations into the competition.
No. We didn't say 6 weeks. We said 5.
Did we say 5?
I thought it was 8.
Well, go back to the
I might go back just to clarify to make sure.
I don't remember anything, so I'm just,
it might have been 4.
It was not 4.
It was not 4.
It was more than 4.
Yeah. So, but after week 1, no eliminations this week, but everybody got to make their debut. The Miz has 24.
Well, is that the highest? Is that one of the highest? 24?
I think it's middle of the pack.
Right, because I think the perfect score is 30, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad.
So he got 4 or 6s. Every judge agreed the Miz got a 6 there. Derek was surprised at the Miz, how loose he was. Bruno thought that his dancing partner Whitney tamed the beast, if you will. Carrie Ann thought he was incredible with ridiculous energy. However, he hit the moves too hard. And then Len thought it was, quote, better than expected.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. It might be a mistake for them to give him criticism because the one thing about wrestlers that we've learned being in the ring, we always ask, how can we make things better? And once someone tells us who knows what they're talking about, we actually do. So now these people are telling Miz what he was doing wrong, but yet he got a 24. Could you imagine coming back next week if he makes it through this, how good he's going to be on the next one?
I love the confidence. I love the optimism from Devon.
I just listen.
Willing his way to victory.
I just don't want to have to dress up in a Peter Pan outfit.
That is what
so
happens
cute.
when you lose.
Cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, Lindsay, I tell you what. If I lose this, we have to make some type of compromise. I won't let you dress up in a schoolgirl's outfit. I promise.
Okay. What will I have to dress up in?
Nothing. I mean something.
You'll dress in nothing. That's what
But
he's.
you-
Oh no.
No.
That's not
You'll
my
dress it.
offering
No.
that.
You can
Just the
exactly.
24/7 championship, like Drake, infamous scene of him covering his nether regions with just the title. That's what Devon will offer you.
Well, I offer I offer a nice nun suit. She can wear that,
Okay.
or whatever she's wearing now. But I will never ask her to dress up in a schoolgirl outfit.
No, the deal's still on. Is that what you're? We're not doing that. Yeah.
I do. I want to see that. But
I do too.
Maybe not everybody, but I want to. I want to.
Byron doesn't, but
Oh,
Byron doesn't count.
Byron,
He's not part of this bet.
Shut
He
up,
doesn't have to
Byron.
watch. Yeah.
Shut up, Byron.
There we go.
Come on,
There we
Byron.
go. That's
That's my-
becoming a regular thing too. Yes.
Yeah, that's my Corey Graves. That's my Corey Graves sounding like. Shut up, Byron.
Well, that was good. I did tell Lindsay before the show that WWE is obviously trying to help your cause, not because you made the bet, but trying to get the Miz going every week. Didn't tell people, hey, go flip over to ABC or whatever network shows it. No, it's just like, here's the number to text to vote for the Miz. Keep enjoying Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that's
Well,
sneaky
hell.
there.
Hey, listen. With WWE behind you, how can you lose?
I don't know.
I'm gonna win this bet. Lindsay is going.
You're so confident, and you weren't like 5 seconds ago.
No,
But it's great.
After Mo reminded me what WWE is doing.
Okay.
Listen, you can't beat that machine.
It's true. That's a hell of a machine, but at the same time, it's not always fan choice, though. So
True. Or else Carol
Yeah.
Baskin would have won.
Well, I will say I wish the Miz the best of luck on that show on Dancing with the Stars, because Lord knows I couldn't do it. So I wish him nothing but the
not
best.
that
and hope he
attitude,
comes-
no.
No.
Well, no. I mean, listen. My dancing days are over. If I had Reggie's knees and cartilage, I'd be good.
If I had that cartilage, I would win that show.
If there's nothing else that you've learned from the show today, it's that Devon really wants his knees and his cartilage.
He's got
I
some
do, because I
cartilage
got-
envy.
because I have none of my knees anymore after all the crap I've done for 30 years. It's gone. It hurts. I walk down 2 steps and it hurts, let alone a flight of steps. And Reggie's jumping, flipping, jumping over cars and able to leap tall buildings in a single. I mean, hell, if I had that, forget it. I'd still be wrestling with no problem.
Those dang knees.
Those
knees.
dang knees. So
Those
if anybody's
knees.
got some cartilage to donate to Devon, he'll take it.
Yes,
He
I
needs
will.
it. So he could be on a future season of Dancing with the Stars, and then Lindsay and I can make bets about how far Devon will go.
Yep.
I say he's
Yeah.
eliminated by the end of the first show.
That's actually what I was going to say.
Oh,
No. That's
He
not
doesn't
true.
even finish his first dance.
yeah, he gets
probably.
I
injured
don't-
before
Yeah.
the show ends,
Yeah.
The one thing, I don't have 2 left feet, so I'm good. I know how to survive.
or gets angry and decides he's going to put a judge through the table.
Yeah.
you know?
Yep. Yeah,
And
where they sit
and
behind the
right
podium.
Right before they talk, I would look at them.
They hold up their little numbers, and then there's a 1, and somebody has a 0, and you're
I'm
like,
like, you better make that happen. You better make that higher.
There's got to be a Dudley dance somewhere, though. I mean, that to me makes a lot of sense. You and your partner who kind of has the thick-rimmed taped glasses like Bubba, but a female, of course. Female
Well,
Bubba.
we had our
Babe Ray.
we went on national TV and danced. There
Well,
was no
bring it back then.
elimination.
Do it right now.
Well, we can't because we need Rikishi's music and Rikishi and Too Cool.
Okay, well, we could probably get Rikishi back on.
Yeah.
And he'll be more than happy to do it.
And Scotty Too Hottie.
I actually know somebody who's good friends with him, so I could get him on too.
If you get those 2 on, plus the music, because we can't get Grandmaster Sexy, of course, because he's no
Right.
longer with us. Rest in peace, Brian. But you get those guys, I may have to do it again.
Challenge accepted.
I am here for that, and my dogs are too. If you can hear that,
Who isn't here for that?
barking
And
for
especially
joy.
if we wait till after Devon loses the bet and he's dressed like Peter Pan.
Oh my gosh,
Talking about going viral, right?
that would finally be famous.
Yeah, finally.